exercise. Yeah.
Oh man, knowing that's out there forever. Oh.
Here, I thought I just had this friendly group of faces. You mean to tell me there's other people out there listening?
You're on YouTube. Yeah. There has been a lot of feedback from people, though, that have appreciated being able to go back and watch the meeting, or if they're tied up and not able to watch, they can at least go back and get the information. So it is a little more nerve-wracking, I think, for those of us that are out there forever on the internet, but it's a good thing for campus. So
does anybody know who Debbie is right here?
Debbie Vaughn.
We have a Vaughn and then we have a Debbie.
Oh,
Debbie Chrysler, maybe.
Well, and we don't have a quorum yet.
We don't, no.
I hope we have some others that are gonna. We've only heard from two that we know indicated they weren't able to attend today. So hopefully. Oh, Debbie Vaughn, she had to call in to get audio. So she's double trouble today. All right, there's Derek. I think that should give us, that give us 10. You're such a troublemaker, Debbie.
One more.
Oh, you're right. We're just at 9. Who do we not have?
Kathy Bryson, Melissa Stahlbomber, Tiffany Crawford, Jessica Cruz. So those 3.
Melissa in your office, Evan? We need a
Yes,
quorum.
I saw her today. She might be briefing during our staff meeting, which runs at the same time.
Well, we've got to get one more to have a quorum here. This might be a first, how we operate if we don't. Oh, there we go. Melissa to the rescue. She doesn't know she's the hero.
All right.
Oh, and Jessica. All right, good.
Perfect.
Good, good. All right, Colette, are you good with attendance?
Yes, I'm good.
All
with
right.
it. Thank you.
Yes. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope you're staying warm. This is crazy, crazy week. Hopefully you're safe. We are going to have a little different format. Our administrators are all tied up with the foundation board meeting that's happening concurrently, so they were not able to join us. We did meet with them on Monday, so I'll provide an update from that conversation in the president's report. And we were supposed to have Luke Armstrong from Griff's Give Back present, but he needed a little more time and asked to move to the March agenda. And we're so happy to have Kim Segrist here from the Center for Service. She's going to talk about some initiatives in their office, but specifically about the Random Acts of Kindness Week that will be happening next week. So Kim, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for allowing me to join you all to talk a little bit about what we have going on at the Center for Service. Before we jump into that, I'm sure most of you maybe have seen this already, but I just had a little video I wanted to show. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm sure I've watched this like 20 times, and every time I giggle a little bit because I think about having been an assistant who gets a plea from someone for help. And so just wanted to share this little haha.
Filter turned on in the video settings.
Oh, my sound's not here. Can you hear it?
You might want to.
I can hear it.
Okay, good.
We're trying to, can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you. I think it's a filter.
It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here. She's trying to, but I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat.
I can see that. I think if you click the up arrow next to filter turned on.
It's me. I'm live. I'm not a cat. Love it. So I just wanted to share that. I can think about a couple of people that I've worked with in the past whose who's that person who may end up with the cat filter and then they don't know what to do, and someone like us comes to their rescue to make sure they're really not a cat. So just a little funny I wanted to share. So the Center for Service, I've been in my role now a couple weeks, and one of the first things that I did was to kind of look to see what we could do to celebrate or to focus on an initiative for something coming up. And as you all know, there is a national day, sometimes very random things every day. And so as I looked, I saw that we had Random Acts of Kindness Week. That's an actual thing that is celebrated and has their own website. And I thought, what a good way for us to kind of relaunch what we're doing here at the center and to focus some events around Random Acts of Kindness. So next week, we will be celebrating that. So I wanted to tell you just a little bit about that, and then also wanted to tell you how we will use that week to launch the center's social media accounts. So I'm going to share a different screen now and show you what we have planned for next week. And our hope is really to be able to include everyone across campus, not just students, but faculty and staff. We've worked to create events that should be easy enough for everyone to participate in. So the first screen I'm showing is kind of the whole week. So we will have events planned Monday through Friday. So on Monday, we are going to do Fill the Bins Day. We've talked, and we have a couple of different opportunities to give back right here on campus every day. And sometimes I think those bins are here or those opportunities are here, and we just forget that they're here and that we have a way to give back. So Monday, we will really promote Fill the Bins Day. We have 3 Big Brother, Big Sister donation bins on campus. They are blue boxes. There's one located in front of Logan Hall. There's one in front of the Blum Union, kind of up where Aramark's loading dock is. And then there's one in the corner of the parking lot in front of Baker Fitness Center. So Big Brothers, Big Sisters accepts clothing, shoes, blankets, sheets, any household item that's not breakable. It is an opening that's only yay big, so kind of think about that as you bring your donation in. And they've also asked that we put things in a plastic bag before we put it in the bin. So a Walmart sack or a trash bag would be great. So that's one opportunity. The other opportunity we have on campus are our Habitat for Humanity aluminum can bins. We have 2 of those, one on the north side of Popplewell, so on the inside part of campus outside of Popplewell, and another at the entrance into Looney Arena. So these look like little houses. They're yellow and black, and you can just put your aluminum cans in there. Habitat for Humanity picks those up. They use those donations then to go towards the construction of a home. So if you can bring some aluminum cans from home and drop in there whenever you have those, that would be great. And then also our own ongoing project in the union, and that's our campus cupboard that accepts food donations, personal care products. They even do have refrigeration to put items that may not just go on a shelf, but need to be refrigerated. And so we want to help fill their bins as well. So that will be what we will focus on for Monday. Tuesday, we are going to do Kindness Rocks. And so this is an activity kind of thing that we hope will get students involved. We'll be set up outside of the cafeteria in the union on Tuesday from 11 to 1. We got rock donations from Moffitt's and Mann Nursery, and we have some paint pens that students can make a kindness rock, and then Hopefully, maybe you'll see them in the landscaping across campus as just a fun reminder that kindness matters. Wednesday, we will do Pay It Forward Day. And what we hope to do is, and I want to show you an example. So we created a little business card that we hope to get to anyone who would like to participate. And it just simply says, paying it forward to brighten your day. It then has the quote that the center uses, which is life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? And then it has a griffin on it. And so if you would like to participate in that day and would like a card, just let us know. We'll get one to you. And then if you're in line at Starbucks that morning and you want to buy the coffee drink for the person behind you, hand this to the person at the window and they can give it. And that way they will know, and we will spread random acts of kindness and paying it forward, hopefully all over the community. Or it could be done here. Or I think I'm going to leave something on my porch because it seems like the poor mailman has to bring a box to my porch every day. So I'm going to try to leave him a little something that day or whatever day, if you have something going on that you want to do for that day. Or maybe it's just to someone on campus who you want to do something kind for to pay it forward. Thursday will be Griffin Gratitude Day. And so this will be a day that we're just going to ask everyone to just send a thank you note to someone. I think we've lost that art sometimes, that just a random, hey, thank you for what you do. Hey, thank you for, picking my kids up from soccer practice, or thank you for always making sure my office is clean, or whatever that might be. So we have just created a very simple little thank you note. And on the back, it says Griffin Gratitude and a space for you to fill it out. We're going to tell students that if they would like us to mail these, we will do that through the center. So we'll collect those from them and get postage on them. So if you would like a thank you note or 2 or 3, just let us know and we will get those to you so you can participate in Griffin Gratitude Day. And then on Friday, for Gold Friday, we're going to do a day of service. We hope to, it's a little hard to find big projects off campus or even to do on campus with COVID. So we are going to do it's actually National Caregiver Day, besides being Random Acts of Kindness Week. So we decided that really within a couple mile radius of Missouri Western, there are numerous nursing homes, long-term care facilities. I think sometimes we forget about those caregivers, and obviously the last year has been horrific for them, as they've been sometimes the only faces that those residents have seen without being able to have visitors. So we are actually going to do thank you notes to the caregivers. So we made another thank you card. And the back says, we know the last year has been difficult. We appreciate all you have done and continue to do. And then we're going to have students sign these, hopefully put maybe what hometown they're from, write a little message. And then we are also going to put together little goodie bags of different kinds of mints with a little thing that says, thank you for your commitment. And so we'll have the students kind of put those goodie bags together, sign the cards. I've reached out to athletics. I've already got 3 teams from athletics who want to participate in that. So, and then we'll deliver those cards over to those nursing homes so they can hand those out to their caregivers. So that's what we have going on for the week. Does anybody have any questions about that? I will tell you that we will have a Random Acts of Kindness tab on the Center for Service webpage. It is in the process of being updated. So by tomorrow, you should be able to go there and see all of those flyers and all of the activities that are going on. There's a map for where you can find those bins and a lot of resources around that week. So I hope you will all participate. And like I said, if you would like to have any of those extra little cards to do, please let us know. We'll put them in the mail or we'll hand deliver them to your office. We would love to have as many faculty and staff participate, as well as hopefully engage a lot of our students in the week.
And I did post the single page flyer on our Staff Association Facebook page about
Awesome.
an hour ago.
Good.
So hopefully that'll be a reminder. I'll maybe try to post the day before what the next day is on those individual slides. Just to
That's
keep it on the
great.
forefront of everybody's mind.
Yes. So kind of along those lines, so the Center for Service has not had any social media. So we are going to be launching Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. We will use Snapchat Story to share our volunteer opportunities with students, since that's where they seem to be the most, is on Snapchat. So we'll do a weekly sort of feature on what opportunities are available. And so we will be utilizing these activities next week to help with that. So if you see those, please follow us, share us, like us. If you participate, if you're dropping a bag in one of the bins and you want to take a selfie, and tag us in that, that would be great. We hope to use next week's events to kind of draw attention to those social media platforms as well. A couple other things that I want to talk about. As I moved into this position and talked to Dr. Kennedy about that, we really talked about the center and what it means for moving forward as far as volunteerism and service goes. I think we're often, or it was created with the thought that students would volunteer and then they'd get free credit hours. We really want to expand that focus a little bit. We've had, we have students who walk in and they're like, well, I really don't need a credit. I really just want to volunteer. They don't really want to have to do the academic piece at the end and kind of the end project. They just maybe want to go do a 3-hour volunteer project somewhere. So we're really going to turn our focus a little bit to almost 2 paths for volunteerism. A student can still do the 40 hours of service to earn a free credit hour, but then also we're just going to be here to be able to help connect students with volunteer opportunities, be that connection with the community, work to find those opportunities, whether it's at someone's location or a virtual, or really also work to try to bring some volunteer opportunities onto campus so that for students who don't have transportation, there's something maybe they can do here for an outside agency. So I have visited with Luke in Griff's Give Back, and we'll be working together to try to come up with those projects, to try to have, a once a month Gold Friday volunteer opportunity that the students can participate in, or even maybe that faculty and staff could participate in. Maybe we do a lunch hour opportunity that if a staff member wants to use their lunch hour to do something, they're able to do that. One of the other things that I talked to with Logan Jones, who I report to, and then also Dr. Kennedy, is the fact that we do a lot of volunteerism on this campus in pockets. For instance, the nursing program right now, and the nursing students who are doing so much to help with the COVID vaccine clinics. And I know the health information management folks are helping with that as well. Athletics does a lot of volunteering. Our registered student organizations do volunteerism. We know our staff and our faculty do a lot of volunteerism, but we don't really have a way to capture all of those hours and what's happening so that we can share that out. So we're really going to look to create or to look at the Center for Service as a repository for all of those hours. Not that the center is taking credit for them, but that we're gathering all of that data so that we can show the community kind of the greater good that Missouri Western does through service and through volunteerism. So we'll be exploring those options. We currently use a program called VOMO that we use to track student volunteer hours through the center. And so we're looking at how we might be able to launch that out to other groups across campus so that, let's say the soccer team does something and those students could track those hours, or maybe it's a fraternity or a sorority and they could log those there. And then we would group them we would show it as their group, but then be able to really capture those hours. I think it could make a big impact as we look to tell our story, to tell the community the good that we do. So to tell our story and to celebrate it. So we'll be exploring those opportunities to get everybody involved in submitting those hours or having those hours all kind of in one place for us to be able to share that good news. I think that's all I have. Does anybody have any questions? Thank you so much for, again, for allowing me. Oh, yes. Nope. Okay.
Good work. I think this is awesome for our campus and our community. So thank you for spending time with us to share. I think we all probably learned, and we'll do our best to participate next week to get things kind of kick-started.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. Have a good rest of your day.
All right. Do we have any discussion, or is there a motion to approve January meeting minutes?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Jessica motioned. Is there a second?
Second.
Is that Amber? Thank
Yeah.
you. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? I've seen so many different ways of how people have been doing votes in Zooms. It's kind of been interesting. All right, motion passes. Meeting minutes are approved. I will move into the president's report. So what I mentioned at the beginning, administration is in the foundation board meeting and not able to be with us today. They did express their regrets for not being able to share directly. Other e-board members, feel free to chime in on any of this if I skip over something or you want to add to it. The four of us did meet on Monday with Dr. Kennedy, Dr. Davenport, Logan Jones, Dr. Jones, and Daryl, and had good conversations. So I'm just going to kind of go through the highlights of what we talked about. We did talk about weather and campus closures, how those decisions are made. Lots of factors go into that. One thing they've considered this week is the wind chill, and ice is ultimately kind of the top factor that's going to predict how decisions are made. I want to give the largest shout out to Physical Plant. I have no idea if any of them are watching right now. I'm not going to complain about having to walk from the parking lot into Murphy Hall, knowing what they are having to go through. So please, if you see Physical Plant staff, I wish we just had endless amounts of money and ways to recognize and honor one another, but just a major shout out on behalf of the staff to everything that department does to get our campus ready and safe for all of us when we are here. Anything else about the weather? Any of you want to add? I know that's not real exciting conversation. We were asked to have a discussion about the minimum wage increase that went into effect in the state of Missouri on January 1st, bumping it to $10.30. There are no staff that were impacted in the sense that they weren't already at that level. So Daryl said nobody was impacted negatively, if you will. They did have to increase it for student populations that weren't at that rate. And these departments still had to work within their budget. So their budget didn't change. They're just going to get less hours out of those students because they're paying them out at a higher rate. Now, as we move forward in time and the minimum wage rate goes up, there will be more discussion around this issue, but that was what we talked about surrounding that topic. We had a pretty lengthy discussion about professional development. I don't want to step on Evan's toes. That's his committee, and I'll let him give a report later more about what was discussed there. We do still have a $4 million deficit. I know last month when Daryl presented, things were looking a little brighter, and then the final enrollment numbers were due the next week, and I think it was lower than what was projected. So we do still have a $4 million deficit. Right now, the good news is they're not looking at personnel cuts. They're hoping to deal with it through, revising their revenue projections, attrition, probably some hiring freezes, and some reorganizing and shifting. So I know that makes us all probably cringe a little bit after what the last year has been like. But the good news was right now they're hoping to not have to have personnel cuts. So there's the update there. We did ask because we wanted to be able to give the special events committee an answer, assuming they're going to be coming to us soon. Are we going to be able to have a spring retreat, maybe something outdoors? And the answer was it's too early to know if that's going to be possible or not. So we tried to get some direction, understand there's a lot yet to be determined in the next couple of months with COVID and whatnot. So we'll keep asking committee, Melissa, and those of you that are part of that. I know it's hard to plan when you don't know if there's anything going to be possible. So just wanted you to have awareness of that. A little bit on that subject, I'm curious if we right now, and again, I feel like I'm stepping on Jean's toes, we have not spent any of our budget. And will that budget get cut in light of the financial situation? We probably need to be prepared for that. They were not able to tell us on Monday, yes, here's the amount. I think we just need to probably brace ourselves a little bit. But if there's ways we want to spend that money, assuming maybe there will be no spring retreat, I think we need to start thinking creatively. We obviously will have to get permission to spend anything, but I'm curious, would we want to consider some sort of care package for employees? There is an Employee Appreciation Day on March the 5th that is coming up very quickly. I did receive word about an hour before this meeting. Dr. Kennedy has something to contribute to that on behalf of the entire staff. So that will be, I think, something well received, but I'm just curious if we want to go to, administration and ask, can we spend $5 a head? I don't know. I'm just totally thinking out loud to try to recognize, our fellow staff. I think we're somewhere in the 240 range with all staff together. So as we think about budget, if you have thoughts around that, we can talk about it in open discussion. I just wanted to put that out there for you to start mulling over. We also had a lengthy discussion about customer service across campus and how maybe professional development can work with CTL on that. Again, I'll let Evan speak to that more directly. And then you've all heard it so many times, but recruitment and retention is what's going to save this campus and get us back in a healthier state. And so it was just a reminder to us all that the tagline, everyone is an educator. We've all heard that, part of the strategic plan, but also now we need to start thinking that everyone is an ambassador. And regardless of what our roles are, we play a role in recruitment and retention, some a little more directly than others. But at the end of the day, we are here to serve students and do our best and to be that ambassador. I'm thankful to Kim for presenting today. If there are other groups, those of you within the Senate or those of you watching either now or later, if there's times you want to pop in here, we'll give you some time to present about, activities or initiatives that you've got going on that you think would be beneficial for the entire staff to hear. And that will conclude my report. I'll turn it over to Jean.
All right. So just an update on the budget. Last month I had brought up that there was a 50-cent postage charge that we weren't aware of. And I finally did hear back from Stacy Mole, and that postage charge is not ours. So we have not spent any money in our budget. So that's good. Another update is I've reached out to HR to get an updated list of employees. I haven't heard back, but I know kind of to touch base into the welcoming committee, which I'm sure Lisa May will talk on. There have been some more additions to the employees. So I think that the first number that I gave earlier this week to the e-board, it was like around 234. And I believe it's going to be closer, like Andrea said, to the 240 mark. So once I get that, I will update the constituent list and get that sent out to the senators. So everybody has an accurate listing of who they can reach out and who those people are that could potentially reach out to them. So that's really all that I have.
The phantom 50-cent charge was not a thing.
I didn't think it was, but
Yeah. I was starting to question my memory that something happened that we didn't document is what I was actually kind of more concerned about. So thank you for finding that out. Greg's here, but I forgot to mention GAC met yesterday and had a lengthy discussion again on institutional committees, still working through the definition. What committees are going to officially go on that list, come off. That's still a work in progress. Jean and I continue to learn so much in listening to all of that discussion. Greg and Kelly Henry from Faculty Senate have just been tremendous in keeping that conversation going forward. And so thanks to the two of them and all that are in GAC for the discussion. I think there'll be good things to come from that. But I did forget to mention that part. So I'll transition it over to open discussion. Anybody have any thoughts around, ideas for morale boosting? I hate using that word. Things we can do to value others. I do have a couple of thoughts that it's kind of scary at night. I get online and I Google and try to see what maybe other places are doing, or, come up with just something. I know we can't spend money. A couple things at my previous institution, we did an internal job shadow program. It was super informal. You just paired up with someone in an area not like yours, and you would maybe go spend an hour with them or whatever it was. This was years ago, just to learn a little bit more about, committee reports. Hello. Let me finish my thought and then we'll go. Sorry, guys. Let me
I
finish
was
my
checking
thought.
the agenda. I was like, are we out of order? Are we changing
Well,
something?
because I'm going down on my separate note sheet and I'd already turned the page over. Yeah, you're tired of hearing my voice. So real quickly, it would be volunteer if anybody within the staff would want to participate in something like that. I'll be honest with you, I think it's really eye-opening. It increases respect for one another and what we do on a daily basis, just to learn the day in and day out of another job that's not like yours. If that sounds like something you think people might be interested in, I would be more than happy to put something together. Again, it would be very informal. It'd be up to, we could use a random number generator to pair people up. They'd set it up on their own. It's just a means to kind of build camaraderie and help link people across campus. So just something to think about. And now we will do committee reports. Salary and fringe. Kathy's not here. Do we have anybody else? I don't believe that committee met. So I think their meeting was canceled for the month. So I don't think there's a report unless anybody knows something otherwise. Okay. Constitution and bylaws.
No report for Constitution and bylaws.
Welcoming.
For welcoming, it's me again. We welcomed 22 new staff from August to January. And then we are short on supplies. So a list was sent over to Jean Foster about possibly purchasing supplies to welcome more people. So we might need more. I know we had some magnets or some pins, just some Missouri Western swag, I guess, to kind of welcome new people.
I don't know how that process works. Do we get it at the bookstore? How does that work?
We don't
I'm
know.
the only one that doesn't know. Okay, good.
no idea.
All right. Well, that committee will take care of that. So
In the past, I think some of it had come from campus printing. We donated a lot of it, but we don't have anything anymore.
your well is dry, probably. Yeah. Okay. Well, that I'm sure that's an important way to spend money. So we'll let Jean take care of that. Election.
We did not meet this month, so no report. We are still short a senator, an exempt senator.
Yeah, and we really need to get that filled. Remind me, is it a term that
Exempt.
will,
I'm
no,
sorry.
is it somebody that was on their first year or their second year?
Good question.
First year.
So they'll have the rest of this year and next year.
Mhm.
Yeah, just like today, we almost did not have a quorum. So we really are going to have to recruit a little harder or beg or something. Okay. Well, if you've got ideas in mind, let Colette know. If you want to reach out to someone yourself, and like I said, just let Colette know, and that committee can work their magic. Be great to get that spot filled.
Thank you.
Evan, professional development.
Okay, can I share my screen? Is that something I can do?
Let me give you the chance to do that. Should be able to now.
Okay. I just wanted to start off by showing everybody what they've been doing with the Center for Teaching and Learning. Professional Development Committee, as well as the Center for Teaching and Learning individuals, have been working on kind of populating this web page here, primarily under the staff and faculty information. So we've primarily focused on the interpersonal skills and the soft skills for staff. Obviously, since we don't need new ideas for teachers, classroom management, those things don't necessarily pertain to us, but things like diversity, accessibility, and inclusion, and those ones at the top and a few others, we've just been adding content to. So I would recommend that you guys do your best to kind of go through those links and look at those resources and see if any pertain to your office, and then kind of engage with those materials so as to better help us perform our function and satisfy those needs that we have identified for our students. So on that note, actually, I'm sorry, I'll skip that. We spoke with Cabinet yesterday and kind of redefined the Professional Development Committee's responsibilities a little bit. From now on, we will have no fiscal kind of responsibility at all. Staff Association will not be receiving funds specifically for professional development to distribute to staff members. All of your professional development will be done at the supervisor level. So if you feel that you need some sort of professional development, or you need funds in order to attend a conference or do any number of those things, those requests will be made directly to your supervisor, and then that'll go through the department budget, and then obviously up and up the chain until whatever happens. So beyond that, since we're no longer a body that takes requests and evaluates them and, you know, gives people $200 or so at a time, we have to figure out what we are now. And so what that is going to be is something more of a programming or content generation or a resourcing entity in order to put things like what I just showed you in the CTL's website in our hands so that we can better do our jobs. And since Andrea was talking, we did speak a lot about customer service, and I'll put this caveat out there. I know that customer service is kind of a dirty term since students aren't customers, right? They are students, and it's very hard to kind of do an exchange, like here's my product and here's my money, give me my degree. That's not something that really works in ed. So I was thinking, how do we create a phrase that kind of satisfies what we're actually trying to do, since we don't want to call them customers, or that enough people on campus don't want to call them customers, that we should be at least sensitive to that point of view. And that term that I kind of figured out was called campus hospitality. And in the hospitality industry, one thing that everybody's really focused on is kind of that golden rule. If I'm going to go to a place and I'm going to drop 40 grand in that place, how do I want to be treated, right? I want to be treated sternly by my instructors so that I am, you know, kind of forced to make myself better. But I also want to make sure that every entity that I interact with on campus is doing their best to make sure that my experience is a positive one. We can still have criticism. We can still have, you know, contentious growth that is still positive. And so I think what we're trying to do is identify how we can do our jobs a little bit more positively when we're dealing with students. And one of those things that we kind of figured out is we proposed the idea of submitting a survey to the student body. We've been told to wait on that in the interim while we figure out what entities are supposed to be involved, or what, if any, our role as the Professional Development Committee is going to be in sort of issuing that survey. So in lieu of that, since we aren't really collecting any data as to how we can fill our campus hospitality needs If you all have any ideas or have identified any areas where you see some problems, please let me know so that we can kind of work to address them and then give us those resources. And likely, as I showed earlier, those resources will be distributed through the Center for Teaching and Learning. Any questions?
I know I need to do a better job to review the CTL website for those resources that are there and captured. So
Yeah, and
for the
there's a
reminder
lot
of that.
there, and they've been working really hard to make sure that we get some appropriate things on there that will really help. So take the time if you can and look at them.
Thank you. Special events.
Yes, we had our first Griffin lunch hour. It didn't come up with a more creative name, but we had our first Griffin lunch hour on January 29th. We had that during lunch. We did a little activity in our offices. I think it was really fun. I posted the recording of it so that anybody can take a look at it in our Facebook group. It was really casual. We all joined in and kind of practiced some of the different things that Emily Ludwig offered. And I think it was a nice way to see faces and do something kind of not work related and get your brain off work. We have our next one on February 19th. That's a Friday during lunch. We're going to try and host them always on the third Friday of the month. And that information is posted in the Facebook group, but we'll also be sending it out via email. And it'll just kind of change by month. This one will be hosted by Andrea, and it will be Friends Trivia. So,
hey, along those lines, will it be a noon start? It is popping up on Facebooks in our office at different times. It shows on my computer at 12:15. It shows on somebody else's Facebook as 1:15, and they all say Central Standard Time. It is the craziest thing. So it's somehow a Facebook setting, but I just wanted to confirm the time so that I show up.
weird. Yeah, it's at noon. I'll look into that. Why the heck that's doing that?
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is, but noon. And just side note, there will be prizes involved. It's designed whether you've watched a few episodes or you are, somebody that just knows every episode by heart. So it's just meant to be fun. Come and laugh, have a good time.
Also, extra points. I added this without asking, but extra points if you bring a friend's themed food,
Yes,
such as cheesecake that you stole.
Yeah.
Love it. I think that's really the only thing we have to announce right now.
Okay. Are you needing volunteers that might come forward with other ideas to host? Do you have some just not?
Yeah, we haven't really spread that out. That's a good reminder. If you have a topic or something that you're interested in hosting for or could offer, you have a special talent, you're really good with crafts, or maybe a cooking demonstration, any of those kinds of things, we'll take anyone who has special talents or wants to share something. Just make it fun and not learning, because this is all about fun.
I'd love another Kendi and Steve activity.
Yeah,
I would be all for that. That was fun.
We're encouraging that.
And if you guys need ammo, for those of us that did the workout video, we had to share our screens. So it is out there for everyone to make fun of us. But yeah, thank you. That was fun. Thanks to Emily for hosting that. That was good use of time and giggles, but very practical information. So thank you, special events. Advantage? No. Guessing probably no report. I didn't have anything sent to me, and I'm assuming there's no report there. Okay. I apologize that I overlooked all that. They're literally at the top of my agenda, and I just went right past it all. Thank you, guys. So now we'll go back to open business, open discussion. The other thought that I had, again, on a whim, was trying to help us get to know one another better. I know there's been turnover. I think sometimes people wonder who's still here. If we did some sort of, I titled it very quickly, Get to Know Your Griffin Family Friday or something like that, where maybe an email came out from the staff, or maybe we use the Facebook page with just a little highlight with maybe your picture, your name, how long you've been here, what department are you in, what is your title, what do you love about working here? Just so we can put names with faces, Like I said, a few a week and spread it out over time. I don't know what anybody thinks about that. You may laugh and think that's silly. Just trying to come up with free ways to help us get connected, use technology as best we can. So I would love to have open discussion on any of these ideas. Just talk it out. Other thoughts anybody might have. Take advantage of our time here. This is what I was afraid of. Muted and no one wants to talk.
Andrea, I was taking a note, so I missed the last bit. What do we need ideas for?
Just open discussion about what we can do across campus to help us connect with one another, or things we're missing that we're not doing. Maybe you know another institution is doing and it's going over well within their staff or their campus. Like I said, I've been trying to scour and see what other people are doing. It's not easy to, my Google skills must be lacking a little bit. I just feel like, I said this last month, we're just caving into this environment of, well, we can't do things because of COVID. I mean, even our meetings, I just feel like we don't have the robust conversation we used to have. The Zoom meetings are what they are. They're not going away. And I think I speak on behalf of our e-board that we still want to keep moving. We don't want to be stagnant. We don't want to move backwards. We want to keep moving. And I think now is a time where we're having to think more creatively than we ever have. And I know so many of you have such neat ideas and you're creative. And if there are pieces to that we can, kind of rev through the staff association, let's do it. Let's just find ways to build that camaraderie and not be able to fall victim to the environment that we're in. That's my spiel, I guess. I don't want to put anybody on the spot. Those aren't my intentions. I just feel like I wonder if we're missing some opportunities that are out there.
I would be happy to start up, get to know your Griffin family and reach out to people with some questions, get photos, and maybe make sorry, I put my shoes back on. Sorry. And maybe making a PDF and posting it onto the Facebook page.
Yeah, I think that'd be fantastic.
Just, putting it into a template.
And, not everybody may want to participate in that, but, if you put out, a survey or something, we could send it to all staff and those that want to send in the info. I know within School of Nursing, we've been using just the generic templates that are out there on PR and Marketing's website. We've been getting student quotes and things of that nature. And I just thought how easy it would be to pop in a photo if you want, and just a little bit of info about yourself. And again, voluntary. But Kendi, if you would want to lead that charge, I think that would be a good starting point for us to be able to say, here's what we're doing to try to, boost spirits and keep us connected.
Yeah. So are you thinking like once a week?
I just was trying to, do the whole play on words, with the family Friday. That's the only reason that came up. It did not need to be that at all. So I think I'd be happy to talk with you offline to further develop it, or you are welcome to take it and run. It was just something that came to mind last night that I thought would be easy and free.
Well, I've always been a fan of show and tell. I think since kindergarten, I think it helps people, if the goal is to connect people on campus, it kind of helps them to have something to talk about, right? So maybe in addition to that, we could do something else, like highlight somebody who wants to talk about a thing they have, just to get people back to recognizing people as humans instead of just offices. I think that's important.
Well, and especially when we don't have events, it seems to be like you get to know people, you bump into them in the hall after a meeting. Well, you're not going to that hall to have your meeting.
Right.
I even find that up here in my little corner, it's not really considered, you know, safe to be running around everywhere, you know, to be able to have those conversations. Not that we can't do them safely, but I think we've just this past year just kind of developed a new norm and just want to be able to think outside the box. So thank you, Kendi. So excited. If nothing else that got accomplished today is somebody willing to help. Anything else, other thoughts or ideas, things that we can be doing for our staff, for our campus? I think what Center for Service with the Random Acts of Kindness Week, I think that's great. And we can all participate, maybe not every day, but pick a day and all do our part. Any other thoughts? All right, well, these meetings go a lot faster when we don't have administrative reports. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you,
Seconded.
Jessica. Evan, did you second that?
That's me.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
All right, anybody opposed that wants to continue this fun talk? All right, meeting adjourned. Thank you all for your
Bye.
time. All
Bye.
right, take
Thank you,
care.
Andrea.
Thank you, Andrea.
You're welcome.